Hey everybody, my name is Elia. Welcome to a very special episode of Entrepreneurs here at Live Hip Hop Daily each and every Thursday at 7. And I'm here with the crew, Creative Visions. Woohoo! And today is our Halloween episode. Can y'all guess my outfit? Do y'all know what I am? Do you understand? Do you know? Do you know who we are? I'm from Greece. Oh, am I Sandy? Is that what you're thinking? No, I would have had the blondest of wigs, and I would have had the pencil pants on, like real cute. No, but today I'm a Black Panther activist, so that's what I am. And thank you for that idea. This is Remarcus, everybody. I'm not sure. Am I supposed to say your whole name, or are we gonna go off of your Instagram?
Either or.
Okay. And so today we are having a wonderful, spooky episode. We are talking about dating in Atlanta. Woo! Right?
Is that spooky? Dating in Atlanta is spooky?
It's supposed to be spooky.
That's what I heard.
I heard it's scary as fuck out there, so we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it from the perspective of entrepreneurs. I know these are our high-value men and women, so we want to talk to them about what they are looking for in partners, why, and what would the ideal relationship look like, act like, taste like, that type of thing.
What would it taste like?
Yeah, what does it taste like?
I'm not mad at that. Okay. That's a first.
You know, we have to be real descriptive when we're trying to manifest something.
Pineapples, preferably.
Pineapples.
Preferably.
Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to start with journey questions. We're going to get to know Remarcus a little bit before we dive into the dating world. And, of course, we got to talk about this list that came out. We all seen the list of places that women don't want to go for dates. So we got to talk about it. There are 28 forbidden places, and some of them are outrageous. Some of them are actually forbidden. So, like, I do want to talk about it. But I'm going to hear from a male and a female perspective. We're going to get a full-blown 360 perspective today. I'm not going to be biased. The one thing that I want to do when we talk about dating, I have two rules. First thing, we can't judge the other person for their preferences. And then the other thing, we can't say mean words about the people. So no B words, no I don't know. I don't want to call y'all scrubs. What do you call men who can't get it together? Like, whatever. We're not gonna say derogatory words.
No bums.
No bums.
I can't call them bums.
No derogatory words.
Okay.
No B words here. No bums. No bitches. That's what we're doing today. We're gonna address people as such. You are people. You are loved, and we are gonna treat you as such. You just might not be my preference, and that's how we're gonna go forward with that. So let's welcome Remarcus. Hi, thanks
Hola.
for coming to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, so please introduce yourself to anybody who doesn't know you. It's very few people because you have so many followers. People know who you are, right?
Yeah.
So introduce yourself.
So I go by Remarcus still in the acting world. That's my government, but like when I started acting, when people would see me in movies, when they roll the credits, it would say Remarcus still, and people would be looking for vigilante. So that's when I was like, you know what, I'm branded as Remarcus Vigilante still. And so it just made sense. And then IMDb won't allow you to use a nickname.
Oh, wow.
And then when I used to get signed to talent agencies and modeling agencies before COVID, they would have to use my government. So that's why I was like, you know what, it's just smart for me to do that. And then
just put the quotes in the middle as a middle name. I got you.
in celebrity boxing, everybody has like a something. So then mine just became Remarcus Vigilante still.
I love that.
Yeah, so it was easy.
I love that. Now, okay, my very first question is, how did you get the confidence to come up with this person, this vigilante? Because a lot of people say you need an alter ego to get started. Is that how you got started?
You know, what's odd is that the type of person that I am, I never really understood if I was a good guy or a bad guy, because now we're coming out with this thing that we call the Matrix and escaping the Matrix, which is pretty much the lifestyle that capitalism has placed upon us that we have no option but to bestow upon in order to get out of. So we have to buy freedom, which is an oxymoron in itself.
Yes.
So because I've always been able to see this stuff from the beginning, it kind of came off like I was going against status quo, which would then kind of make you seem like a troublemaker. So when I was younger, I always used to get like whoopings from my mom and my grandma for stuff like that, but they would always appreciate my tenacity and my drive. They knew that if I pushed it in the right direction, that it would be something that was substantial for everybody to benefit off of.
Okay.
So the name itself, Vigilante, came from, I was watching a show called Video Vigilante when I was in the Bahamas, and it was a show where a white guy was filming the police breaking the law. So I looked up what a vigilante was, and it was a leader of a self-appointed group who takes matters into his own hands because he finds enforcement to be inadequate. So then when I started researching more of it, I'm like, yo, this is what I am. I'm not a good guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm a vigilante, and I'm always be a bad guy to some people, and I'm always be a good guy to some people because everybody has a narrative. Life is about narrative. That's what it's about.
Do you know what's funny? I was telling my friends that the other day. I was like, I just got comfortable being the bad guy to some people. And once I did that, I felt very free.
Yeah,
because it was
freeing.
like, you know what? Some people aren't going to like me. Fuck it.
Yeah, it's very freeing.
As soon as you get there, you can kind of move around this world because then it's like, all right, well, you're not a person for me. You are a person for me.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt you anymore.
Yes.
It doesn't feel personal. So that is a wonderful story. Like, I love that you said that your family was very supportive of you kind of going against the status quo. How was that like growing up?
It was different because like let's jump right into Kevin Samuels. He would be considered a vigilante.
Okay.
And he was a vigilante that would just full-fledged just jumped into it. Like even if I disagree or agree with some of the stuff that he said, I probably still wouldn't say it the way that he said it.
Okay, true.
So I appreciate him for doing it because somebody got to do it. So I always appreciate people for being who they are because somebody got to be that. So I think that that's what my family felt too, where they were like, even though we're not the ones that are going to be like that, we appreciate the fact that he's like that because somebody got to be like that.
Okay, okay, I can see that. I don't think I've ever heard anybody call Kevin Samuels
a vigilante.
I've never heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard lots of other words, but vigilante was never one of them.
Yeah.
So, okay, I want to ask, like, why do you think he was so popular?
Who, Kev?
Yeah.
I think that he put out very shocking content. He told a lot of different uncomfortable truths, and it was stuff that people were always thinking behind the scenes, like, are you bisexual?
No.
You're not? Okay, so it would be hard to describe what it's like to date a woman to you because you don't know them from that side.
Yeah.
And I explained this to my ex when we started dating, and she came out as bisexual, and I told her, like, yo, if you're going to do this, we need to do this with women that I've already dealt with before in the past because you don't know what it's like to get a woman to take you out for a free meal or her feel entitled to this because now y'all doing this. And most women will never admit that they put that type of pressure on men and that type of entitlement on men because it's uncomfortable to say. Women have an image to keep up. Stuff.
Okay, true.
So because of that, Kev said, fuck it, I'm tearing this wall down. We're going to talk about the image that you're trying to keep up. If you got 23 bodies and that's what you have, then that image is now, you have to realistically think about what that looks like to the person that you're trying to get provision and resources from.
Okay.
And a person like myself that's 28, wealthy with no kids, that wouldn't be advantageous for me to deal with a girl that's that promiscuous because 9 times out of 10 we're going to end up in a situation that that is not advantageous for me or us or our kid in the future, which I will have no proof is mine, but she will.
Okay. We got to a lot of topics. We got through a lot of topics in that sentence. Because for me personally, I do feel like people do change. So she could have 23 bodies and then change her minds and say, I don't want to do this anymore. We've all gone through things where it's like,
oh man, this is gonna be one of them.
No, I mean, okay, so you don't think anybody can change their minds? You could used to sell drugs and then not sell drugs, but you're always a drug dealer?
I can appreciate that because that's actually how Power started. He was a drug dealer and he wanted to get out of you watch Power, right? And then he wanted to stop.
Bit, but not.
Who was the person that was telling him to keep dealing drugs?
I'm not that.
His wife.
Okay, see, and that's
the reason that Raina died. The reason Raina died is because of his wife. Because if he would have left and did the club like he said, I'm getting out of the game. We already have the penthouse. We already got the cars. We already got millions. Our kids are in private school. We're done with this life. She said, I'm used to not working. I'm used to you buying me bags every day and jewelry every day. You're not stopping because the money that you're making from this club is peanuts compared to what you make in the streets. That's a prime example of what I was just saying.
Okay. So that's different from a girl having bodies and being undesirable.
It's a parallel example.
I guess.
But the undesirable part is, okay, so when you have intercourse with somebody, you are creating a tie with them. It's a spiritual act. So 100%. For the women who indulge in that more than other women, what they're doing is they're eliminating their ability to pair bond effectively.
Okay.
So if you got 20 bodies you probably only thinking about which ones were the best, which ones you count as a relationship, but all of them as a collective count. The male ego is fragile too. So anywhere that we pop up, there's only 50 states. So if you got 20 bodies, 9 times out of 10, a man that you slept with is going to be somewhere where we are.
Okay.
And that's why when people are celebrities, they choose not to date other celebrities that have been with other people.
Okay.
Because we're going to listen to their music, we're going to watch their movies,
That makes sense.
and that kills our ego to know that another man has been inside of what we now deem as our forever.
Okay.
For some people, it don't matter, but for myself and for other people like Kev, it did matter.
Okay.
It does matter.
Okay. I think saying just that makes it a personal thing. It doesn't make it an all person thing. I think the problem is the narrative is a lot of women feel bad now about the choices that they've made, and they feel like useless because all these people are telling them you are useless. You can't get a man that would love you and has money and can support you, all because of some stuff that you did maybe when you were 20 and now you're 30 and you're like,
let me add some more. Let me add some more context to that.
Okay.
For a long time, I grew up with 5 sisters too. I was the only boy. I had a step brother, and I have a mostly girl family.
Okay.
So one thing that I told my mom a long time ago is I said that women operate in immunity, and a lot of the decisions that they make comes with no consequences. I was my mom's 3rd kid, and she was 18 years old. And then she had 3 more, and she had 6 baby dads in total, and she was married twice. That is a prime example of no consequences for your actions.
Okay.
She also lived on Section 8 before. I don't know if she ever got government assistance like welfare before. My mom was always a hustler. Like, I'm not trying to say anything bad about it.
I understand.
But this is just like examples of that.
Wife.
Tyrese right now is being attempted to be taken for millions for a relationship that he hasn't been in 3 years. The way that men and women experience life are 2 totally different things. His wife wasn't in Transformers. His wife wasn't singing in Coca-Cola commercials. His wife is not from Watts, California, one of the most dangerous hoods in the world. So to be a man born with no value and then to make it to that stature, and because you choose to love a woman and then she chooses to go that route with it, men don't get the opportunity to operate in immunity. If a man is a loser, he's called a loser every single day. And if we can't say bums, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so
I feel you.
If a woman is not, like, I know some of the brokest women on Instagram that then say stuff like, I deserve a vacation. I deserve a vacation. I deserve a man that does, I deserve a man that does that. The reason that I call myself King Hypergamy is because when I used to ride the bus to college and when I was 19, I used to ask myself, like, what is it about me that makes me not want to talk to these other women that are on the bus? And it's because they're going to feel like that my conversation to them is useless because I'm also on the bus too. What's the word for that? The word is hypergamy. Any man that is driving is going to be more advantageous than me because he's in a higher position than I am.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing. I can't blame a woman for female nature. Hypergamy is a part of female nature. Some women are gold diggers. All women are stability diggers.
You could turn it off if it's my phone. I have a second phone in that green purse. But keep going. Keep going.
Yeah. Some women are gold diggers. All women are stability diggers. They want to have a man that has some type of future that is substantial to where they can take care of them, the kids, himself, etc. Self-sufficient to where their partnership can be self-sufficient. So that's why I come into every situation with the 50-50 philosophy, because once you become pregnant, it's going to be on me anyway, because I'm not going to want you working, or I need my kid to be 100%. My seed is inside of you now. This $1 billion seed is inside of you. So I need you to carry Lamar's class and back. Yeah. And that's it. It breaks my heart when I see a pregnant woman working at Arby's or stuff like that, because it sucks. But then I got to think about it, and I got to
6 weeks with your kid, and then you got to go back. Like, that's wild. That's absolutely wild.
But then I have to think about these are the consequences of it. You had sex with a loser. This is your consequence. It's 8.8 billion people in the world, and the one person that got to spread seed inside of you is a loser. You're a loser too. So y'all are a loser couple. So the reason that you're in this situation is because of that.
Okay. I would say this, like, does everybody have to be a winner? Is the question. Who wins if everybody's a winner?
I think everybody can win in their own different way.
Okay. Because when you say loser, I'm sure that hurts people's feelings, but it's also like from your perspective, you're a loser. I think we all have what we call losers. Like even though it's hard to say and what we don't want to admit, when we see like homeless people, we kind of look at them as you're a loser. So I see what you're saying. When you're like, on my level, it's a little different how I would treat my lady or how I would be out here acting or providing for myself to provide for them. So to me, I think that you're not doing the best that you can.
Yeah,
so,
that's what makes you a loser.
Exactly.
At that right there, you not doing the best that you can. Not
it's hard though.
It's hard for who?
To do the best that you can. A lot of people don't even know that they're not doing the best.
See, but that right there, that's where
and you differ.
Yeah, that's because I don't care about that part. That's why people like Andrew Tate are so important. You heard one of his speeches before?
No.
You ever heard him talk or anything?
No.
Yeah, he's a 4-time.
Very angry man to me.
You feel like he's angry?
He seems angry. He seems mad at everybody.
See, we have to cut the seams words.
Okay.
And we have to make it.
Because I've never seen it, so
that's why. But I feel like you have a responsibility to see it because he's the most influential man on the planet right now.
Okay.
So now you have a responsibility to it.
I will go research.
Yes. So Andrew Tate is a 4-time kickboxing world champion, and he's also a multimillionaire influencer, the biggest influencer in the world right now. So what he teaches to men is self-improve, do your best. We're all going to have good days. We're all going to have bad days. He's been knocked out before. I've seen him like lose fights in the past before. So he's not saying perfection. He's saying try. And so that's another reason why I started celebrity boxing. I started celebrity boxing after I got on TV and was already on the Homicide Hunter and TV One and all of that stuff. I didn't have to do that. But I did it because as a man, I have to learn combat. And how can I protect my family in the future if I got a wife and I got 8 kids and we walking down the street and somebody decides, fuck Vigilante, I don't like him. I got a knife in my pocket and I want to do something about it. What am I going to do about it? I got to get my kids out of there. So now when I go to the gym, when I first started going to the gym, I went to a gym with pros and amateurs. And they wasn't playing around just because I was vigilante. They was really knocking me upside my head. And I remember one day I went to the bathroom and I had blood in my mouthpiece. And I had to tell myself, man, listen, either you're going to take this seriously or you just need to not come back. Yeah. And then Tate and Kev and Fresh and Fit and all of them just start playing in my head. Like, if you leave and you don't come back, you a loser.
Do you know what I'm noticing from you talking is that these people, their audience isn't me.
Isn't you?
It's not me.
Why not?
Because it's for you guys. It's for men to grow in their manhood. It's not for me.
No, it's for everybody.
Why?
Because it's an open book test. You know what's funny about Kev's show?
Okay.
Is that every woman had the ability to shut the fuck up.
Okay.
And just listen to the information. This is a multi-millionaire in front of you, the man that you, not you, but the man that they could never get. So it's your job to sit. I tell women all the time when I go on podcasts and I do like roundtables, I say I would probably never talk to any of y'all in my regular life. So I need for y'all to take this 2 hours seriously that y'all gonna get. I'm giving you an open book test right now to ask the high value Sigma male what it is that's gonna make you the most advantageous in the dating market. I'm here. What do you wanna know? I want to know this. I want to know that. I want to know this. Boom. All right. Now you just upgraded. You just upgraded. You just upgraded. You got 3 more streams of income. You're now a better person. You now are selfless. Stuff like that. Okay. So they all had. That's why the audience is for everybody, because Kevin Samuels, contrary to popular belief, he put his foot in men's asses too. Yeah. If you was a loser, he was telling you. Yeah. So that's why the audience is everybody. And as a woman, if you want to attract men and he's giving advice to men on how to be better, everything ain't going to be for you. Like if he's talking about stuff for erectile growth and shit like that, that's not for you. True. But if he's talking about stuff like this is how a woman should be, your ear is now like on a wall that you can now listen to it, almost like a cup to the wall. Okay. You can hear what he's saying openly. That's why now it's no excuse for a woman not to be divine, feminine, and submissive. The information is out there. So if you don't not doing it now, you just don't want to, which means that you have no place in the dating market.
Okay. See, I guess that's where it gets weird, because it's like, okay, do you find value in every person, or is it if you've achieved a certain amount and done a certain thing and made a certain like went to a certain like met a certain amount of
it's a mixture.
Standards.
It's a mixture.
Does that person matter? Do they have to equal standards in order to matter? Because I know some women who have been through terrible things. Like if I told you about my past, it might make you think that I'm not as a high value woman as you would think.
You think so?
Give off. I think so. I've had a crazy past. And because of the things that I've done in my past and have had happen to me in my past, according to Kevin Samuels and according to these people, I would be a low value woman.
Oh, like according to his criteria?
Yeah.
You mind sharing a little bit?
What do you mean? Okay, I have more than 5 bodies. So okay.
5 is a low number.
5?
Yeah, 5 is a low number.
A lot of people trip.
That's them.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 is a low number. So
anyway, my I'm not going to explain what my body count is, but it's over 5.
Okay.
And so it's that. I'm divorced.
Okay.
That
doesn't make
you. Yes, it does, because see, that's something you have to apologize for, right? That's a soul tie. That's a thing that you gotta, Yeah,
you're talking about repenting.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but Kevin Samuels' list was a little rigid. So like, let's say.
Also, I'm 31. So I'm already like at the bottom of the barrel to him because of my age. Okay, see, and I'm divorced and I have a high body count.
I understand what you're saying. Okay.
I'm not supposed to date anymore.
So let me say this for the camera. 5 is a low number. I'm gonna say that for the camera, especially for somebody that's 31. That's actually an impressive number, because you gotta think about it like this.
I guess, but
if you had a boyfriend from, this is just in general example, a boyfriend from freshman year in high school to senior year in high school, and then y'all had sex at the prom, that's 1. If y'all decided to go to 2 different colleges and then you dated another guy in college from freshman year to senior year, and then y'all had sex, that's 2. Let's say that y'all decided to go, he decided to get shipped to Germany and you stayed in America, and then you got engaged to another guy, that's 3. And then you broke off the engagement, and then you got married to another guy, and y'all had 7 kids. That's 4. These are low numbers, and all of those situations are all justified.
Okay.
What I don't want you to go by the Kevin Samuels, just because I'm saying his name. And remember what I said earlier. All of them have a place.
Right.
But I don't 100% agree with their criteria and what they were saying that a high-value man and woman is.
I'm just saying, it kind of makes women feel like, damn, I couldn't have lived before I tried to date.
See, now lived is a loaded word. That's super loaded. Okay, it is a loaded because you can live.
My version of lived is somebody else's version.
Because you can live responsibly.
True.
I'm from Flint.
Okay.
A lot of people that see me now have no idea that I'm from Flint, and that I was raised by a single mom until I was 12. Yeah. Grew up in the hood. And shit just kind of panned out for me. That's how God works. So low value is something that somebody continues to be. That's not somebody that's not.
Okay, I like that. I can get with that. I will say, I do think a lot of women are noticing because of all of these talks that there are things that they can do to improve. I don't think every woman feels like they have to take a man's word on when to improve, where and how or whatever. So I think that's where the differences go. So we're going to talk about your preferences, because we can go into everybody else's preferences for hours and hours and hours. But for you, like, what would be the biggest lesson that you learned from going from, like you said, from the hood to being a millionaire and to being seen on TV and to being, an influencer? What is the biggest advice that you could give to somebody who's trying to follow that path?
As far as dating, or just in general?
In general, and then we'll do dating, because I want to get to the list.
Okay. So in general, I haven't touched $1 million yet, but thank you for acknowledging that. No,
I tell everybody they're millionaires.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, because the people on the camera kill me, especially my family that know that I'm not a millionaire just yet, even though it looks like
Y'all support him. It's coming.
It's getting there. So the best advice that I can give to people is to monetize your real life.
Okay.
Whatever it is that you're passionate about doing, do that. Don't fall for that you have to be an entrepreneur in order to be high value, or that you have to force yourself to start a business to feel like that you're progressing. If Apple is already a company and you love Apple products, merge with them. Work up in their system. They already got a system that's developed for you to win in. and then give them ideas on how they can better their stuff so that you can become a piece of history and a part of Apple legacy and lineage. Gotcha. And even if you do start your own business, I still recommend for people to keep their 9 to 5. The more successful that your business becomes, take less days at your 9 to 5, but keep it as a tie. And network with those people. You may be able to merge your 9 to 5 business with your regular business and make 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6 other streams of income out of that. Just don't fall for the matrix. Don't let social media trick you. This is a tough one because if you pussy enough to let social media trick you, then I kind of can't even give you advice because you've already kind of lost.
Ooh, I want to talk about that. Ooh, I want to talk.
Which is another reason why I value women that don't really like social media. Like I love women like that. The women that I go out on dates with, they phone literally be probably on the other side of the room while me and them are having a conversation, and I gotta damn near tell them to go grab their phone before they go get it. Like I love women like that.
It should be like that. Let me tell you, if I'm on my phone, I don't like you.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Dead ass. Dead ass.
She just told all of y'all.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to all the women out there. I'm so sorry. But if I'm on a date and that phone comes up, that means I literally was like, okay, this is boring.
Yeah, this ain't it.
This man is rude, or I'm not feeling it. I'm
feeling
trying to
that.
call somebody to send me somewhere. Somebody call me right now. Tell me I need to go. Tell me there's an emergency and somebody get me out of here. Somebody say my mom is sick. Somebody come get me.
Somebody
right?
pull the fire alarm.
Right, exactly. Or I'm just gonna slip to the bathroom because I've had moments like that where I was like, I'm just gonna leave. I'm not.
You done went out the window in the bathroom?
Not out the window in the bathroom, but I went to the bathroom and then snuck around the table to get out the
Oh,
front
to get
door.
about there?
Yeah, I've done that.
How did you sneak around him? How that happen?
So, okay, first of all, I was at a, cigar bars. Okay.
Story time.
Story time. Right, okay, so cigar bars, ladies, is probably the best way or the best place for you to meet a high value man. They don't like clubs that much. If you really see a guy out in the clubs buying bottles and things like that, he's probably a drug dealer. If you want somebody who has like legit paper, they're at a cigar bar. Especially if you're in your 30s like me, they're at a cigar bar. I don't know what the 20-year-olds do with all their money, but all the 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds go to the cigar bar, all right? So if you're looking for a man that could probably pay your next bill, it's probably at the cigar bar. So I was there with some friends when I was single, and I was out, and he had his own little section upstairs in the room, and he invited us up there because we looked nice. He saw us downstairs, and he was like, I want to have a conversation with you. The whole conversation was about how much money he had. He didn't have a personality. Everything was, I have this car. I was like, okay, what do you do? Well, I made all my money doing this, and so now I don't do anything. And I'm like, okay, you don't have a hobby? There's nothing that you want to do? Like, I'm like, so you just do nothing all day? Like, you made your millions, you do nothing. And it seemed like everything he wanted, it just always tied back to money. Okay, so I would be like, oh, well, I'm work at Twitter. Well, you don't have to do that anymore. I'll pay for it. I just met you. I just met you. I'm a little scared. Yeah. I don't know what's going on. Why are you paying all my bills and buying me a car right now? What happened? I look nice, but damn it. Like, hold it. Like, it's okay. Let's do something. And then what did he say? He said something like, I'll make a trophy out of you. And when he said that, I was like, I gotta leave.
Yeah, you out.
Because that's not my intention. So I think everybody needs to understand who they want to be in a relationship and understand who that person needs from that person. Yeah. So I always like to ask that question when I start dating. Is like, this is who I am. Who do you need in a relationship? If those two things don't work out, that's a dope question.
I ain't gonna lie.
If those two things don't work out, we're not gonna work out, right? Yeah. Because you need a certain person to fill whatever roles you have. Like, you have a definition of what a girlfriend wife does for you, right? And I have a definition of what I think a girlfriend wife does, right? So I got to ask you what your definition is, because if it don't match with mine, then what are we doing here? It's going to be fights after fights after fights. So I always ask that question when it starts to seem serious. We want to get,
I can tell you've been married before.
Yeah, see? That's what it is. Yeah. Once you do it once and it fucks up, you're never doing it wrong.
Okay.
You're going to fix those mistakes.
What happened the first time? Talk to me.
So the first time I was actually physically abused.
Well, I want you to start from the beginning.
From the beginning.
Yeah,
okay.
Start from the beginning.
From the happy times, right? I met him in high school.
High school sweetheart?
Yeah, high school sweetheart.
Okay.
I went to college and he dropped out. And I said, okay, I'll deal with that. And then, because he was my best friend, he was everything to me. He was basically the person I would go to for a lot of emotional attachments, less than anything else. But as things progressed, I kept moving up the corporate ladder, everything, and he just would not.
Yeah.
He couldn't keep a job, everything. So everything was always on me. So I already didn't like him because everything was on me. And I know at least for me, I didn't want that. I wanted to be an work optional type girl. Like, I wanted to be like, oh, I have a job, I don't really need one. Like, I wanted to always be that in my situation. He used to tell me that was selfish. So I used to think, okay, no, I need to bear the weight with the relationship, right? But I didn't realize I could choose somebody who actually doesn't want me to bear all the weight in the relationship. So that's what happens when you high school sweetheart. You think everything is normal because you've only had this one relationship. So we did that. People kept asking me for years and years, why aren't you guys married? And I just didn't want to. I just didn't see him as husband, right? So then when he asked me, I said, okay.
How did he get the ring?
How did he get the ring? Yeah. I don't fucking know. I didn't ask that question.
So he took his 25 cents, went to that gumball machine.
And it really wasn't a 25-cent ring. If you see my ring, it was a very nice ring. I don't know what he did.
He went
for
OT.
That.
That's what he did.
I don't know what he did for that.
He went
but
OT.
I had a very, very nice ring.
Yeah. He dropped that package off out of town and came back. I know what he did. All right.
This is when you don't ask questions as ladies.
Yeah,
if your man get money, he get money how he get it. Okay? Hey. Don't ask too many questions.
Bird gang. I know what you did, sir. Good job, though.
So he did that. And then once we were engaged and all this stuff was happening, and it just wasn't working because I could not submit to him. There was just something, he just was not giving me submit to me. So it was not going to work because I was supposed to be a wife and I wouldn't submit. It just wasn't, it was not happening. So because of that tit for tat, I guess he got mad and then it started to get physical on his side. He was trying to make me submit.
Yeah, he was trying to break you.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm unbreakable. Let's just say that. So that's just what happened. So he got a little violent on our honeymoon and I left him in jail. And that was it. Never saw him again.
Y'all was married for less than a month?
Yeah.
Did y'all elope or did y'all have a wedding?
No, I had a full wedding. I had a $30,000 wedding.
You paid for it?
Most of it. Half of it. His mom paid for the other half.
You know what I love is your transparency. I love your transparency.
Why?
I tell people all the time that a woman's transparency, because women are information creatures. If you ask a woman, what you doing today, and she says stuff, and you ask her, she don't want nothing to do with you. But if you like, what you doing today? Oh, I'm doing this. What time is da-da-da? It's this time. And I'm going to be free around this time. And I'm doing this time. That means you're her number one option.
I don't have nothing to hide anymore. I hid so much while we were together, like all his craziness, that now it's like, oh no, I'm not hiding nothing. And if I ever have to hide with a man again, that's not my man.
For sure. You definitely strike me as a relationship person too.
Oh, thank you.
So I can see why you wouldn't. Normally, I wouldn't give anybody a pass for the story that you just gave. But I can understand based off of your energy. And actually looking at your Instagram, I'm proud of the work that you've done.
Well, thank you.
I see you still in the gym doing your thing. You're still building your businesses. I'm proud of it. I know that a lot of these podcasts say that high value women shouldn't work and that they should just let their man pay for everything. That's coming from the alpha perspective. I'm coming from the sigma perspective, where I believe that my woman is my equal, and I need to bring her up to where I am if I am of higher status than her. This isn't my house. This is our house. These aren't my kids. These are our kids.
I like that.
It's our stuff.
It should be like that.
So if anything,
don't think that way.
if anything does happen and we get divorced, it was always our stuff anyway. So we don't have to take it from each other.
Because it was ours. Yeah.
The reason that they got to take it in a marriage, not saying it's okay, but I'm just saying in those situations is because she don't know what's going on. So she got to get a lawyer to audit everything because you hid everything from her. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You know everything.
I think it should be transparent. I learned that the moment you guys aren't transparent with each other, something's up.
Yeah.
There's something wrong. And I've also learned that two people can be right and wrong in a situation, and that's what it was. We both went in love, but not that person's love.
Yeah.
And maybe not that person, not the way they were going to love us. So we weren't wrong for wanting love. We were just wrong for staying with somebody who wasn't matching.
It.
What we wanted.
Okay.
Exactly.
So how long you been with the dude now?
So the dude that I've been with now, I would say a year and a half.
A year and a half? How's it going?
It's going very well. I like him. He's very much like he could stand on his own 2 feet. He already owned a house and a business before I met him, so I didn't have to worry about he wasn't looking at what are you bringing to the table. That was never a question for him because he already had a table, so he didn't really give a fuck. Like, what are you bringing? And then also he's very supportive of what I have going on. And he's not trying to get in the way of my show or anything like that. He's paid for episodes for me to have.
Oh, yeah, he invested his money into you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's definitely been in time. And so he's a very busy person because he has his own business, has a job, things like that. So he's busy, but he's attentive.
Yeah,
Every free moment he has, I know it goes to me.
There we go.
So for those two things, I'm like, okay, that's it.
He's checking off a lot of the boxes, man. What's his name?
So his name is Zach.
Is what?
Zach.
Zach? Black Zach?
Black Zach.
Black Zach. That's his name, Black Zach.
I'm actually going to call you that.
Shout out to Black Zach. That's a dope ass cologne. Black Zach? Oh, my mama, I would buy that.
I'm calling that. I'm changing my phone. Like, his name on my phone.
No, that's influence.
That is influence. But it was definitely, for me, it was a shock because I was told that there weren't men like that out there.
Facts.
So when I was talking to my single friends, they were all like, oh, he just wants you because your show's going somewhere and don't talk to him anymore. He doesn't have time for you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, my man can't have time for me because I need him to go get some money. So, like, I mean, I'm going to be as honest as possible right now.
That's
like,
real.
He can't have time for me. Because if he has time for me, what are you doing?
One of the unfortunate
what,
things.
What are you doing? And so I think that is one thing that a lot of women never give up is the fact that he's not going to be available. So if you're looking for the man that's going to hold your hand every Sunday and be there all the time, he's not going to make that much money. And if that's the type of man that you want, then you gotta get rid of the Birkin bag fantasy.
Yeah, that's out of there.
That's done.
Gone.
If that's what you really, really want, you got to understand that he's not going to be around. He's going to be out. He's going to be on trips to go get the money. Like, he's going to be places. Like, and I just think that's just, again, that's a maturity thing. I don't think everybody gets that.
Yeah.
I also think that that's a me thing. I know what I want from my man, so I know what that looks like for him to go get that.
I can appreciate that. Shout out to Zach, man. He's doing a great job. You got him a good one, too.
Thank you.
And no, I don't agree with Kevin's stipulation, so no, I don't think that you're a low-value woman.
Oh, thanks. I also, I was super scared to tell him, but I also was like, I like this guy. So our very first phone conversation, I told him my whole life. I was like, fuck it.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to put that all out on the table?
I was like, look, if you don't fucking like me, you don't. But I'm divorced and I'm 30.
How did he respond to that?
He was like, okay.
How old is he?
He's 25.
He's 25? Interesting, man. He got it early.
Yeah.
I'm proud of this dude, man. He sounds like somebody that I need to go play basketball with.
Okay, cool.
Black Zach. I'm picking anybody named Black Zach on my team. That's a fact. I know he can dunk.
This is so funny. But it was definitely it was super surprising. I also was not looking for it. I was in the club. I would not suggest anybody go find a man in the club, but I did.
I love her transparency.
So, it's one of those things where it's just like.
You got rid of them single friends yet?
Most of them, yeah, because they are weird. I think some. I'm sorry. Okay, what I mean by weird is.
We going viral.
I know. What I mean by weird is the fact that so much has happened to you that you have not let it go. So now every man is the previous man. And not previous man, the previous 16 men who didn't work out. Yeah. And then so now all men are like the equivalent of 16 different personalities. And I'm like, who is that? That's not, like, even the people that you are dating is not all 16 of those other men. So, like, it's just not a lot of taking the time to get to know that particular person. And then I also have seen it's a lot of scared to settle. I'm not scared of anything now. After all that I've been through, I can't be scared. I think being scared is kind of crazy. Fear is crazy to me. So, like, for you to be scared to settle with somebody or to give your heart to somebody, like, the fuck?
Like settle or settle down? In terms of
settle down.
Settle down. Okay.
Maybe not settle. It is scary to settle. It's very scary to settle. That's spooky. Let's talk about that. That's spooky as fuck to settle. But to settle down, like, if you're, If you're really telling me every time I come to your house, you're always talking about, oh, I want babies and I want a husband, right? But then every time you get an opportunity to have babies and a husband, you go the other way, then what are we talking about?
Self-sabotage.
You see?
Yeah.
And it could be a great, I mean, some people, I've known people who are dating millionaires. I've known people who are dating the sweetest men, send them flowers every day to work. I know they, giving them engraved gifts with real lovely things. And they're like, yeah, I don't like him. I'm going to go out with somebody else next week. And I'm like, this is why a lot of these people turn sour. It's because you rude as fuck.
There you go. Now you getting it. Now you get it.
You are rude as fuck.
There it is. There it is right there.
So I just don't like people rude. Like, please don't be rude. Like, if a man is taking the time to give you any time of day, because even you random people.
You ain't get that homeless man no time.
Yeah, exactly.
When he was out there.
Right. This man gets it.
Trying to get your number.
Right.
Zach.
Y'all. This homeless man was trying to talk to me. My purse got stuck on my leg. I was trying to run. It was a lot. No, you can't even tell now. Like, we're all good now. But it was a lot going on. But when that type of stuff happens to me, I'm always like, I don't know. I'm also aware of how pretty I am. So you also got to navigate spaces aware of that. I've seen a lot of women flirt their way into bad situations.
Oh, yeah.
Not knowing or knowing full blown well that they're flirting their way into bad situations. So it depends. It also depends on where you are. Because I can tell you as a woman, I've been the too flirty friend, and I've also been the one who's completely aware of her surroundings. I think it just depends on where you are.
Life experience is the best teacher.
Yeah.
We gotta look at these stats right here. Only 10% of men make $100,000 in America annually. 90% of women want 10% of man, and only 10% of the 90% deserve that man. So when you're a person like myself, so peep this. Let's say that somebody like myself who drives a drop top in the middle of the #1 city in America right now and makes a lot of money doing a lot of different things, I now have access to not only all the girls here, but now all the other girls in the world that are trying their best to get here. And now the other girls who are overseas who have aspirations to get to America. So when a woman does approach me and she's asking me for a request that she doesn't deserve, it's her first time ever hearing no, or ever being left on red, or ever not getting what she feels that she automatically deserves. But it's not for me to tell her that. It's for her to study the people that are already out there that are telling her that, like Kev and like Tate.
Got you.
The Sigma male is not really the person that's going to do that.
Okay. So I want to talk about this dating list.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
And then we're going to talk about what this dating list means to a Sigma male.
Okay.
And I want you to break down that, because that was the first question I ever asked you.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And I want to talk about that, because I think a lot of people always choose the alpha. And when I saw your profile and it said Sigma, I was like, a lot of people won't choose that one.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about this dating,
let's get into it.
This dating list. Okay, so if you guys haven't heard, it was on Shade Room. That's where I got it from. I don't know where the rest of y'all got it from. I'm not on TikTok like that, so I apologize. Actually, looks like it was on Twitter or X. What is it called? Anyway, there are a list of places that women absolutely refuse to go on a first date, and he says, thank you to all the women who helped me make this list, right? Number 1 was Cheesecake Factory. And I don't know if Cheesecake Factory was on there because of the viral video that went like a few weeks ago or whatever, but that was 1. 2 is Applebee's. 3 is Chili's. 4 is Chipotle. 5 is Olive Garden. 6 is the movies. 7 is Your House. 8 is any fast food chain. Buffalo Wild Wings is 9. 10 is Wingstop. And then some honorable mentions, because there's a lot of them. There's 28 of these. The gym, church, ice cream dates, family functions, somewhere that requires a long drive, a bar just for drinks, and sports events. Now, me personally, some of these are not that bad. And I want to know if I'm just, maybe my standards are low. These are what these questions make me ask as a woman, is like, are my standards low? Should I be demanding 5-star dates? That's what this makes me think. But like, the only ones that like really surprised me, first of all, church. There are some devout women who would love for their first date to be church. So I don't know. I think that's a check your audience type thing. The gym, I love gym dates. Please take me to the gym for a date. Like that way I can see your mental strength. Are you a push through it type person, or are you a quit in the middle of the gym? Like I need to know who you are.
Yeah,
like,
people watching, wasting time. Yeah.
Are you a go flirt with the girl in the corner with the tight booty? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I need to know who you are. Like I need to. The gym date, I feel like a gym date is a good one. Yes, it's cheap or whatever, but you learn a lot about a person in that. I also say things like bowling and things like that. Again, you get to see if this man is competitive. Is he a sore loser? Mm-hmm. You know, can he win gracefully? It's a lot of things that you can learn from this. So I don't know. What's your take on this?
Well, first of all, I'm gonna start from the beginning.
Okay.
So the way that she found out that I was a Sigma male was after her last episode. She walked to the side. Mm-hmm. I was sitting there talking to another young lady about how I became an influencer, and she got my profile, and she just immediately stopped and stared at the part that said Sigma, and she was like, "We got to talk about this." And
classic Ellie.
And 2 weeks later, here we are talking about it.
Yes.
So I can tell she was very inquisitive. So the thing that I'm gonna say first is, she, at the beginning of that, it said, "Thank you to all the ladies that helped me create this list." Mm-hmm. Yeah, fuck y'all. That's the first thing that I'm going to say. None of y'all deserve a high-value man. One of the things that you have to have in order to be a high-value woman is a high level of understanding. Mm. You got to understand life. The women that are still chasing the 5-star date, that they don't deserve, by the way, are the ones that don't understand that there's no substance behind that. Mm. So that's like when a kid is craving, it's like, mommy, I want dessert. And she's saying, no, these greens are better for you. Mm. The women that are wives, they understand them greens. Matter of fact, they make them greens very well. The side pieces, they understand dessert very well. Mm. That list, I've probably taken a girl to all 28 on that list before. I've been to all 28 places.
Not a bad list. Like, the only thing that I can see is your house, and that's because I don't fucking know you. Like, that's it. That's the only reason.
That's the only thing. And the part that confuses me about the list, let's go to the lady who did the cheesecake thing.
Mm-hmm. We can talk about that.
So, I wish a woman would ever lock me out of my own car.
That was a lot. Her recording her reaction to not wanting to get out of the car made me go, what the?
Yeah.
Who are you?
You want to date with somebody and you see that their phone is down there. He look at the phone. Now, when I looked at homie, he wasn't impressive to look at. So I was kind of like on the fence. Like, okay, are you about to simp? Or are you about to try to reason with her? Or are you about to take her home? Which one are you about to do? You about to man up or you about to pussy out? Which one is you going to do? So when she said stuff like, look at me, I get courted. Clearly you don't. Because if you were getting courted by the man that you wanted to be courted by, you wouldn't be on this date with this dude right here. Mm. So you're lying and you're projecting a false image that you want people to pick up from you. Mm. And then you're also in the fake sisterhood. When you say stuff like, ladies, do y'all hear this? That's the fake sisterhood. So when you appease to the fake sisterhood, you're also eliminating yourself and you're setting yourself up for future stuff. What you do now in a relationship is parallel to what you would do later. So if on the first date, if she'll lock you out of your own car, she'll ask for alimony, she'll ask for child support, she'll try to take your assets from you. She's telling you that on the first date. Okay. It's all parallel. So I'm so glad that he hopped back in the car and was like, no, I'm just going to take you home. And another thing I'm going to say, sir, is that it is not the gentleman thing to do to drive all the way across fucking town and pick the woman up and pay for the whole date. And that's not gentleman shit. That's simp shit. The gentleman thing to do is to arrange the date and have her meet you there so that she can have a safe way to get home if the date doesn't go well. Now, if her eyes are bad and she just so happens to live on the same side of town as you, then you can pick her up because there's a certain level of trust that's built there and you're doing it as a gesture to be kind. There's a difference between being the nice guy and being the kind guy. Mm-hmm. So when he was saying stuff like, I did this, I did that, I said this, I did that, that's pussy shit. You have too much time. You have way too much time. You did all of that and still got locked out of your own car. Sound like a pussy to me.
This is fucking wild. We just gonna talk today. We have to talk about it.
Is what I'm saying making sense?
No, I get what you're saying. Also, to certain women, I'm not gonna say all women, but to me, I like a man who knows what he wants. So if I can push you around like that, it's not gonna last very long. Man. It's not gonna last.
And that's
very
what she
long.
was doing. And that's why
the moment I can push like that, and it's not like really like handled. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna trust you to handle shit in my life. I'm gonna be like, well, I pussy you out. So what are you gonna do in public? Like, if somebody's trying to fight you, I know that.
You're gonna get your ass whooped. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I can't go out like that.
It's hard. It's hardwired in women to try it at least once or twice. Like when they hop into my Mustang and they try to grab the aux cord, I'd be like, do not touch shit in here. Don't touch a motherfucking thing. Give me the song that you want to play and I might play it. That's it. Other than that, sit there and enjoy this ride.
I think it's preferences. Okay, so for the list, you've taken women to Cheesecake Factory, to Red Lobster, nothing like that. Okay, what is your first date places?
Well, I'm a
depend on the woman.
No.
Okay.
I'm a in the process of person. So whatever I'm doing at that time. So I didn't taking women to like I won my first award this past year. And one of my first dates with a woman was when she came to the award show with me as I had 3 women with me that day, as my plus 3s. Okay. And so that was our first times meeting each other, was when we was there. I've done that. I've taken women to my celebrity boxing matches and sat front row with them. I've, what's some other stuff that I've done? Like I'm trying to say stuff that people will understand when I say, because I live a different life than most people live, so I'm trying to be relevant to them too. Stuff that they can do too.
It's about you right now.
Okay, so we just talk about me?
I wouldn't even do that.
Okay, I got you.
Just be who you are, and they'll find the parts that they can relate to.
I got you. So the purpose of what I'm saying is, whatever you got going on in your life, you do it for you. I was just telling my homie last night, he said, you know, I done stuff like, you know, it's a shorty birthday. She been rocking with me. I done spent like a rack, 2 racks on her birthday. And then I was like, see, that's a problem. The problem is that when you're dealing with outer energy, you have an expectation of how much she should appreciate something, and it's never going to be reciprocated. She feels like it's my birthday, you should go all out. And if you do it this time, next time she's going to be expecting you to go even bigger. So the smarter thing for you to do is to have something that you're doing already that is close to her birthday. And then say, this is the birthday thing that we're doing for you right here. Okay. So that way you can handle your business while at the same time giving her something for her birthday. And then let her celebrate her birthday how she want to celebrate it, probably like with her friends. I feel like sometimes girls feel pressure to not do what they want to do with their friends when they have a boyfriend because of stuff like that, when you should save your fucking money and keep it in your pocket and let her go have fun with her friends.
I think a lot of women, and y'all let me know if I'm wrong in the comments, but if a man sent me to go have fun with my friends on my birthday, that would be the craziest thing. Like, I would be like, he's the greatest.
He's the bomb.com?
Yeah, like for real. Like, I'd be like, he's the greatest. Like, he was like, he understands that it's my day. I want to do what I want to do. Facts. He knows that he'll see me later. You know, we'll have a little dinner or something like that. But he gave me money to like go stunt and tell my friends, oh, he paid for this whole thing. What's up? Like, he knows what it does for even his image in her friend group.
There you go.
Because your image in the friend group is huge.
Because they're going to run their mouth regardless.
For real.
You just want them running their mouth about something positive about you.
Oh my gosh. And the moment, and it really is like the way, okay, because she will tell your worst moments that y'all had together. So if there's a lot of worst moments, all them friends don't like you. Like, if you've had 3 very terrible moments where they were like, these are terrible red flags, you need to drop him, don't come around. Like, do not come around, because they're going to talk shit about you the moment you leave, the moment you get up, the moment you think you can't hear them, they're going to start talking about you. They might be texting about you under the table right there. That's how it really goes.
Nah, that's real.
But, like, if you can keep that oh, he does a lot for her type facade. Yes. And I would keep that. And even, I wouldn't say make it a facade. It needs to be real. You just do a lot for her. And I would also say, if you do know her friends don't like you, then do just pay for it and let her do her own thing. Y'all don't have to, I do say y'all don't have to mix lives. You can mix lives. if it works out, but you don't have to.
Yeah, that's just a lot of pressure.
You don't have to.
Don't put that pressure on yourself. You don't have to mix
because
lines.
your man trying to like every friend that you ever had is not finna work.
Friends is gonna stay on bullshit the whole relationship.
For real,
so
and keep it.
Yeah.
And they're gonna keep that mind frame and everything that y'all say from the beginning is in the chat. That man is known as Leather Jacket forever. From the moment he shows up until y'all get married, he will still be Leather Jacket to them.
Yeah.
So whatever you say
Black
about
Zach.
this person, that is who he is.
Practice living above the woman's narrative too. Most people can only fathom what they can see. I had a woman tell me one time, "You are the most interesting person that I've ever met in my entire life."
Wow.
And it's something that comes commonly. You know, I've done 300 podcast interviews. I invented the doing people going to different podcasts. And I invented that back in 2015.
Wow.
So, and that's me being a Sigma. Like that's something that Alpha would brag about, but that's just something that I just did.
Yeah.
So when I did that because I wanted to put, especially African American women, because y'all seem to do the best job at journalism. I wanted to put a lot of African American women in position to go to Streets 94.5 and V103 and
Thank
Streets.
you.
And you're welcome. Yes, and it was one of my goals, and I've successfully placed about 4 or 5 women in those positions.
Wow.
So, and I'm about to do a lot more.
Okay.
And that's what I mean when I say living above the narrative too, because in what girlfriend circle can they say that they do anything remotely close to that? So now when my name comes up, it's damn near like you talking about Jesus. And that's just blasphemy. So now the name got to go away.
I feel you. No, but here's the thing. Your girl should be really into you like that, though. I feel like that should be how she thinks of you. It's like, he's the greatest thing.
He's the greatest thing
ever showed up in my life. And if
100%.
you're not that to her, then
there you go.
She's gonna start acting crazy, and she's gonna start pulling that phone out, and there'll be a lot of attitude.
First option or no option. That's all it is.
That phone got names in it, okay?
And men, you gotta earn it. Don't be a low-level man talking about that a woman should be submitting to you.
Please.
Don't do it.
That's not how it works.
That's not how it works.
And also for the ladies, please do not be rude and insensitive and not understanding talking about you're a high value woman. You're not creating a space of peace. So how are you a high value woman? Most men are looking for peace. They can get all of this other shit somewhere else. They are really looking for somebody that makes them chill, so that they can relax before they got to go back out there. Especially black men, they really want somebody that gives them peace, because it's a lot coming at them all the time for just how they look, let alone what they do and everything that they have to stand up on. So if you're not giving any man peace, like you're like, oh no, I'm gonna give my man hell, but he's gonna enjoy it here. No, he's not. He's not. He got several other women that do give him peace, and that's what's happening.
You know what's a good thing about you is that if Zach wouldn't have snatched you up, another high value man would have snatched you up.
Aw, thank you. I appreciate that. I think that came a time, though. I will also say that I went through a lot, which is why I know what to do. I think that's the other thing.
Yeah, you went through the journey.
Yeah. You kind of have to go through a lot of bullshit to get to a point where you're like, okay, oh shit, I understand.
You get it now.
But you know, I was raised by a single mom who made 6 figures and did everything. So she taught me, you don't need anybody. So if I kept coming across people who I felt like, what do I need you for? What do I need you for? And so I never really saw that, okay, there's an equal to that. Like, just making 6 figures does not have to be the epitome of success for you. Like, buying your own house doesn't have to be the epitome of success for you.
Yeah.
Like, you having your own car doesn't have to be the epitome of success. There's other things that you can do. And so that's probably why I haven't had kids yet, because it was like, nah, like, I'd rather be by myself, be messy by myself, do things by myself, than add a young person to this, because then now I have to take you everywhere to meet these new people and learn with me and grow with me instead of you doing the journey first. Exactly. Before you let them watch you, because they're gonna watch you date. They're gonna watch how you date. They're not even gonna see that you learned your lesson or whatever. They're just gonna go for whatever that they saw in the beginning. So
I'm proud of that.
Yeah, this is This is a journey. Everybody's not like this, though.
Mhm.
Everybody's not.
But everybody has the
Not like
ability
this.
to.
They are.
That's the reason why I got to put my foot in their ass, because of
Okay.
that. You went through the fire and you decided that the fire was hot, and you said, you
I
know
don't like
what?
this shit.
I don't like this. Let me get out of this. And you learned your lessons from it.
It's hard though. This is very hard, and I have to shout out to my family and my support system who really kind of helped me kind of see the light.
Black Zach is gonna be a great father.
Thank you. Please don't put nothing in his head. I said I wasn't trying to have kids, so I was like 34. I want to be like Rihanna and Nicki, like.
We on Black
older
Zach
moms.
time. Shout out to Black Zach.
Okay, so I do want to talk more about like who you are as a businessman.
Okay.
Because you've dropped a lot of names. You said celebrity boxing.
Yeah.
You've been doing this since 2015.
Your memory is good.
Yeah. I have to be. How am I supposed to interview people?
Ain't nobody cheating on you. Ain't nobody cheating on her. That's over with.
Oh, I'm also a Cancer. So
Yeah.
There's a little bit of crazy in here. Don't
No.
say something and not stand by it.
Yeah, I
'cause
feel that.
it's
Yeah.
not finna
This Black Panther outfit, you can get stumped real quick. They always come with boots.
I was about to say, if y'all see my shoes, yes, we will stomp y'all out. But anyways, so like, please explain to us how you became an influencer and what does that mean to you, especially since you've been doing this since before influencer was a job or something that people could put on their resume. and
Yeah.
put-
That's
put
real.
in something.
I kind of saw it moving in that direction when if you look at the NBA and you look at how Nike became to be the #1 brand, it was because their partnership with Michael Jordan and his performance on the court.
Yeah,
Their
that was
continued.
it. If he did not perform on the court,
Yeah.
Nike would not.
Nike would not exist.
It would not.
That's literally the difference maker between what's making and breaking companies. These new T-shirt companies and stuff like that, they're failing miserably because they're trying to nickel and dime. For those who are familiar with the streets, they're trying to nickel and dime their way to success. When what it is that you have to have a machine behind you, and sometimes a machine can just be one person. If you use your marketing dollars that you use to print up all of these shirts and you just give it to Chris Brown, then you don't have to worry about doing this marketing. He already has a tour set up. He already has this interview set up, that set up, this set up, that set up, this set up. He has millions and millions of women that want to be with him every single day that wear whatever he got on. And then you can come up with an automatic woman line. Like one of his girls could just be wearing one of his shirts with nothing underneath it, and then that can just become the boyfriend shirt. And that'll literally, you didn't even have to put any marketing or thought behind that. So what they're doing is they're working harder and not smarter. And once I seen that become a thing, I said, you know what, if I just get with brands who actually want to devote their time to working smarter and not harder, then that'll put a lot of money in my pocket. It'll put a lot of money in their pocket. And with all of the stuff that I've done, this is my opportunity to give back to them because I don't have to work with them, but I want to work with them because I understand what that struggle is. Like I could easily just go sign with Nike again, or not me again, but like other people how they have again, or go to Gatorade or go here or go there. But I wouldn't be moving the needle there. I want to go somewhere where I'm moving the needle. And by working with,
bringing money to a new
Yes.
place, I understand. That's wonderful.
I can watch their brand die, or I can help their brand live. And that's exactly what it is that I want to do. And I've been having a ball. I have over 150 brand collaborations. Shout out to Gage Cologne
What's up?
right now. Shout out to Gage. They stuff smells so good, and it's a beauty. Like it's a one hand washes the other thing. Like I haven't paid for clothes in like a year now. And every time that a brand sends me clothes, they send me their whole wardrobe. So then I have to get rid of my wardrobe, and then I've been giving it to single moms that have sons.
Wow.
And it's been a blessing. And those are also tax write-offs too. So it's been helping my business full circle. So it's just been a blessing. I've been enjoying myself tremendously. I want to thank all of the brands that I partner with. You guys have helped me, and I hope that I've helped you.
That's awesome. So, do you ever feel like you're always a billboard?
Like always?
Yeah. Does that feel weird as a person to be a billboard, or do you embrace it?
I embrace it.
Okay.
I embrace it
I've heard that
as long as it's positive. I've never been a Shade Room, World Star, TMZ kind of person.
Got you.
So that type of publicity, I don't want.
You don't want.
No, that they can have that. Brittany Renner can have that. You know what I'm saying? They can have that. There's a market for people that love stuff like that.
Right.
So for myself, I like to have like a Childish Gambino kind of Nick Cannon kind of career.
Okay.
Kind of Denzel. Like I didn't even know Equalizer 3 was out till I took a girl the last week to go see it.
Yeah, they ballin', but like unnoticeable, but they still making all their money. And so it's like you could ask about them, you don't see that.
That's
that
the
resume,
signal mill. That's the signal mill right there.
But they not talking about it all
You ain't
the time.
talking
I like
about
that.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
You just getting to it.
Okay.
You know, you got that drug dealer that's flashy, and then you got that other drug dealer that's like, I ain't even know that he was.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh my God. I met so many men who were like real, like big millionaires who did not look like it at all. Mm-hmm. And then you start asking them, what do you do? Why? That type of thing. You're like, oh, you make a lot of money.
Make a lot of money. Yeah.
I just thought you were just Kevin.
Yeah, I thought you was just Zach. I didn't know you was black, Zach.
I didn't know you was black, Zach. That's exactly how it goes. And so, but I think they do that on purpose, and I've talked to them about that. They're like, look, a lot of people look at me and see dollar signs. So I pull back that, and I want you to get to know me before you understand there's dollar signs behind there. So I want, do you feel like sometimes people only want to talk to you or want to get close to you or be in your presence because of what you've done?
Yeah, it's a mixture of both. I look at both of it as a compliment. Okay. As long as you're not trying to extract disrespectfully, like if you're not trying to take from me. Okay. But if you're in my presence and you go, you know, you have so much knowledge and I just want to pick your brain, that's one of the most humbling and one of the most admirational things that a person can say to you. Wow. It's 8.8 billion people in the world, so for them to take that moment to do that for you, like when I did the Wifeable podcast, the way that I got on Wifeable podcast was that DJ Money now approached me and he asked me if I wanted to take over his show. And I said, do you have a salary for me? And then he said no. And I said, okay, let's put a pin in that. Right. So then he said, Jay from No Lie Wristbands came to me. He has white wristbands that symbolize that you are single. I mean, in a relationship. Blue is single, and then green is dedicated to the gym. And he was like, I want you to be the face of No Lie Wristbands. I said, do you have a salary for me? He said, no. I said, let's put a pin in that. Okay. And then Jay's wife has a casting company. So I said, Jay, I'll do you a favor. If your wife bring me 20 girls to APAT Media, then I'll do the podcast episode with DJ Money now, and we'll do a round table. So I put that whole play together, and then Wifeable Podcast did its first round table. After the round table was over, I'm walking out to my Mustang, and I turn around, and I hear all these, like, heels behind me. And I look back, and I'm like, are y'all about to jump me? And then they was like, no, we want to get more information from you. Because the podcast episode only lasted 2 hours, and all of them wasn't able to say what they wanted to say. So I'm talking to them after an hour, after it's over, and I'm like, I didn't know I was this needed or this desired in this space. Like, I seen what y'all did to Kev, and I don't want to go to the grave like that. I don't want my name to be tarnished like that, even though they call me Kev grandson. I want people to still look at me in a positive light, but I see now that the information I have, being a Sigma, I can keep it to myself, and I'm just going to give it to my son and my daughter and stuff like that, but now the world wants it. So now I'm giving it to the world.
I like that. You said you've been on over 300 podcasts. Wow. Were they all relationship based or just how do you pick your podcast?
Overall, like I with me, I go where the love is. Okay. So when I heard you talking to the author and I heard how attentive you were to him, I said, I'm gonna be on her show next.
Oh wow.
So even before you came over there, I already knew that I was gonna be on your show.
Oh wow. See, I like that. I always said, do your best. You have no idea what's going to come after that. That's what I do. I do my best every single time I have somebody up here. And because of that, I don't have to work to find guests anymore. I just be myself, and they just want to be a part of it. In the beginning, I was like, please be on my show. And then they were like, I don't really know if I want to. Right? Yeah. And it was that desperateness of, I have this show and I'm trying to get it. Instead of me just focusing on what I had, I looked desperate because I was really trying to get to another place. But then when I realized you do have great people coming, people do enjoy your conversation, let's focus on that.
We definitely going viral on this one.
Thank you.
For sure.
Today we talked a lot of shit.
Yeah, we're going viral today.
No, I appreciate that because we do need to talk about that. Last thing I wanted to talk about when it comes to being you, I see that. I got you. That's why I was like, last question. Last thing about being you and when you have going on. I know for me, the moment that I got better at business and dating was when I came up with the list of non-negotiables. Do you have that?
Non-negotiables? Yes, I do have non-negotiables.
Okay. Can you share one or two of them?
Sure. Just the one thing that I hate in any woman is just a sense of just any level of entitlement. Just anything that you haven't worked for that you feel that you deserve. I don't like that. It's gonna sound cliche, but it's real. Being nurturing, being submissive, being divine, being feminine, being soft. That's just something that high value men just crave as a whole. So that's one of my non-negotiables, is just being somebody that's just full of so much entitlement. I need this, he got to have that, he got to do this, he got to be that. Just that imaginary undeserved checklist is what I call it. And I'm a pretty fair person, so I try my best to see, because everybody has a different upbringing. Like, people don't know that I'm from Flint until I tell them that.
Yeah.
But if I acted like I was from Flint, that'd be a totally different thing.
True.
So the same thing with other people. I try to reason with where they're from too. I don't know their traumas. I don't know their upbringing. Some people have been, molested in the past. Some people have had different situations to where
I have no idea what people do.
people have been through a lot of stuff. So I try to reason with people, and when I see that me reasoning with you puts you in a position to be comfortable enough to want to give me more information, and then also to listen to my information, because I can make any girl a thousandaire like myself in like 2 years. I got the information. I know everywhere that I fucked up in the past, and money-wise, and I know every way that I'm doing it properly now. So if you really don't want to work, we can really make that happen for you. But if your pride and ego and the womanly, I want to say that I got it myself, blah, 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 bullshit that the feminist movement pushed to y'all, that right there just F's everything up. Because how successful...
Why would you not want help?
I don't get it.
That is the question.
If you got Michael Jordan on your team, you might as well learn how to just pass the ball.
Why not?
I don't see why not.
Why not? Also, I'm going to challenge all the women who don't want any help to live a day with some help and see how much better it is.
Man, fuck them.
One day, I would just say one day of you just being like, if somebody offers you something, you say thank you for offering and you accept it. See what that feels like. Because a lot of it's ingrained in us. My mom was a single mom, and she was like, "Don't let anybody take advantage of you. You can get all of this by yourself." Blah 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 blah. And then I realized, I was like, "Now how fucking tired are you? You work 80 hours a week. You don't go out. You don't have friends. Like, no, my mom was a project manager for
80
AT&T.
Is a lot of hours.
Project manager for AT&T. She was making like 150 in the 2000s. Like, my mom was.
She was getting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom had her own house, own car, everything.
My Cash App ain't did
like,
nothing.
Fuck out here.
My Cash App ain't did nothing, Mom.
So
that's when we'll know.
So for her, it was like, no, you can get it by yourself. But then it was so funny. I watched her get married, and then she doesn't do anything anymore. And I was like, who is this?
Yeah.
Who is this? The same lady who told me that I could do everything by myself won't clean a dish now because her man doesn't.
That's how it goes.
But we all actually really want help. We just mad that we don't have none at the moment. And that's really just what it is. And we've been projecting that on other people. So accept the help. Accept the help, ladies. Accept the help. Okay. My last and final question that I always ask is, I talk about my hashtag is Hey Bosties. And so my hashtag is boss plus bestie put together. So it's Bosties. And I always ask, what do you do to be a good bossy, like a boss bestie, which is somebody who helps their friends make money, and helps them make good choices in life, and also helps them move forward in whatever goal that they have in their life?
Okay, 2 quick examples. So with my next business that I am starting after I close on my penthouse in December is I'm starting a subject to business.
Okay.
And for those who don't know what subject to means, that means that when your house is about to go into a foreclosure, let's say that you $3,000 behind on your house, and I will come in, pay the $3, take over your property, give you the option to stay there as a tenant for me. So now the house is cash flowing and still appreciating. Or I give you more money for you to relocate. I can put new tenants in there, or I can Airbnb it out. And then that stops it from hitting your credit so that you don't have a foreclosure, so that you can purchase another house in the future when you get back on your feet, and you can also get back into an apartment or a tiny home or RV or whatever you want to do moving forward. So that's another way that I automatically, all of my businesses that I have are to help people not fuck their life up.
I like that.
And recently what happened was I was on another podcast, shout out to Skillet, and he was like, man, I really want this girl named Lola Cash to be on my show. That's the girl who be like hitting her nails on the clipboard thing.
Yes.
And he was like, I was like, you know that I know Lola, right? He was like, since when? So I pulled my phone out and I FaceTimed her. And I said, hey, Skillet want to holler at you right quick. And I gave him the phone, and then they set up an interview. And I've noticed that I've been doing that now for 13 years, that right there. And he was just flabbergasted. He almost didn't even want to take the phone from me.
I started doing that too, and people be like, "What? Did you just give me my dream?
Your dream,
Like,
yeah.
Did you just pop my dream in my face? I sure did.
Sure
what
did.
you gonna do with it?
That's
you want
it.
it or no?
That's the best feeling in the world right there when you're able to
beautiful.
do that. So yeah, that's what it is. It's about monetizing your real life and about paying all your blessings forward.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so much for being on our spooky episode. You know, we got a little bit into the weird dating things. We got into this conversation of how you get to be influential. We had a lot of good conversations.
Yeah.
Please shout out anybody that you need to shout out. I think we skipped some brands, the food.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cozy Coop. Thank you so much for the invitation. Ellie already said that she will be accepting her invitation. It is out in Kennesaw over by Town Center and Montasia, for those who are familiar with the area. Oh, yeah, so she definitely going to be up in there.
I'm definitely going to go there with lots of videos.
Yeah, so that's dope. Shout out to Gage. Thank you so much for this cologne. I appreciate you. I mean, I haven't been cologne shopping in, like, a year now, and my cologne nightstand is full. So that's another reason I love these collaborations.
Yeah.
It puts my high value on autopilot.
Yeah.
Don't steal that. That's already patented. So yeah. So shout out to everybody that enjoys the content. Shout out to everybody that was tuned in. If I offended you, I'm glad. And if I didn't, then that means you're on the right track.
Okay. Tell them your Instagram and things where they can follow you.
Oh, at vigilanteom. Please don't come in my comments with no bullshit. We have a very, very positive page there.
I would also say, you guys, this is our opinion. It's personal. Everybody has an opinion. You can have your own. Please share and comment and like, because it's the point. We're starting conversations. You guys can have your own conversations about whether or not we're crazy as fuck, or you completely agree with both of us. It's a lot of different things that you can do with that. So if you guys aren't right now, pull your phone out and follow entrepreneur.ish.podcast and follow Live Hip Hop Daily, because I'm here each and every Thursday at 7 with the crew Creative Visions, and we are going to have a very short solo episode right after this, so you guys stay tuned. See you next time.